in numbers too big to ignore. And I know too much to go back and pretend, 'cause I've heard it all before, and I've been down there on the floor, and no one's ever gonna keep me down again. Yes, I'm wise, but it's wisdom born of pain. Yes, I paid the price, but look how much I gained. If I have to, I can do anything. I am strong, I am woman.
There are a range of industrial issues that are important to women. These include equal pay, access to training and career paths, maternity leave, the right to work part-time to accommodate family responsibilities, childcare services, leave to care for sick family members, sexual harassment, and discrimination and equal employment opportunity.
I'm wise, but it's wisdom born of pain. Yes, I paid the price, but look how much I gained. If I have to, I can do anything. I am strong, I am woman. Watch me grow, see me standing toe to toe as I spread my loving arms across the land. But I'm still an embryo with such a long, long way to go until I make my brother understand. Yes, I'm wise, but it's wisdom born of pain. Yes, I paid the price, but look how much I gained. If I have to, I can face anything. I am strong, I am woman. Hear me roar in numbers too big to ignore. And I know too much to go back and pretend, 'cause I've heard it all before, and I've been down there on the floor, and no one's ever gonna keep me down again. Yes, I'm wise, but it's wisdom born of pain. Yes, I paid the price, but look how much I gained. If I have to, I can do anything. I am strong, I am woman.
Engineering is an important influence on Australia's public health, safety, security, prosperity, and environment. It is essential that the profession reflects the needs and aspirations of the entire Australian community. Australia has an engineer shortage, which would reduce if the profession was female-friendly, but the industry does not appeal to them. In 2008, 5 times more men completed undergraduate degrees in engineering than women. Since about 2005, interest in engineering as measured by the applications for university places have increased faster than in non-engineering disciplines. However, growth in acceptances of engineering places has been much slower. On average, about 2,000 girls applied for places in university engineering courses compared to over 13,500 boys. The statistics suggest that universities over-offered places to girls, but these additional offers were not taken up. In 2010, acceptances of places by girls were 1,695, or 14.2% of all acceptances. In 2010, there were 32,814 women in the engineering population. The women's engineering labour force was around 24,500, giving a labour force participation rate of 74.4% compared to 82.5% for men. Women were 10.7% of Australia's engineering population and 9.8% of the engineering labour force. The proportion of women employed full-time was 73.3% compared to 88.9% for men. Conversely, 26.7% of women were employed part-time compared to 11.1% of men. Despite this, part-time men outnumbered part-time women by 4 to 1, suggesting there were significant opportunities for part-time work. The unemployment rate for women engineers was 5.2%, over twice the rate for men, which was 2.4%. In both full-time and part-time employment, men employed in the engineering labour force earn more than women. Proportionately, more full-time employed women engineers than men earn weekly income brackets of less than $1,300. Conversely, proportionately more men than women are in weekly income brackets over $1,300 per week. The gender differential progressively increases in the 3 brackets above this income, so that in the highest bracket, which is $2,000 or more, the proportion of men is almost 2.5 times that of women. In part-time employment, the proportion of women exceeds the proportion of men for weekly income brackets below $800 per week. Conversely, the proportion of men exceeds that of women for weekly income brackets $800 or more per week. As was the case in full-time employment, the gender differential in favor of men increases in successive income brackets. Over 10% of men employed part-time are in the highest income bracket, $2,000 per week or more, about 4 times the proportion of women. In 1987, the participation of women in higher education exceeded men for the first time. Since then, the gender gap has increased so that by 2010, the women's share was 55.6%. The success of women in education led to major changes in the Australian labour market, and these changes should be the benchmark for evaluating the progress of women in engineering. Occupational research shows that over 81% of the engineering labour force are employed as managers, professionals, technicians, and trade workers, compared to 49% in the labour force as a whole. Yet the women's share of these occupations is just 8% compared to 36% in the labour market overall. Gender equity is still a critical issue in national policy making, but attention is shifting to the economic inefficiency caused by the gender imbalance, not just in engineering, but in other male-dominated occupations as well.
I am woman, hear me roar, in numbers too big to ignore, and I know too much to go back and pretend, 'cause I've heard it all before, and I've been down there